Hello and welcome to the Chuck's Anime Shrine podcast, where we talk about video games, anime, animation, and basically whatever else comes to our mind. With your hosts, Danielle and me, Chuck Gaffney. Alright, sorry, I can never start off this damn thing correctly. I'm already recording, I don't care. Hey, hello and welcome to the Anime Shrine podcast, Chuck's Anime Shrine podcast.
Also known as Chuckles broadcast?
Chuckles?
I am totally pushing that.
Oh, God.
Yeah, because you're my Chuckles. Chuckles.
God. I know, I put Chuck's Anime Shrine. It's such a long name, too, you know.
Everyone's like, beautiful name.
I've had people tell me you should change your URL, change your whole site's name, you know, go kill yourself or whatever they say when they see my name, you know.
Well, you know.
They say that to me sometimes, I'm like, you internet trolls.
They tell everyone to kill themselves because they're hoping that someone
will.
Oh.
The podcast could always be named Chuck-fil-A.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, who's that?
Chick-fil-A. Oh, God. Ooh.
Charles,
well, you already know I have
something? There's a person.
Oh, jeez. Oh, this podcast, this is episode 4, by the way. Starting at a great start. Yes. Actually, we have another guest with us today. And of course, this is my fiance Danielle, and I'm Chuck, the owner. You know,
also known as Pika Love Chew.
Pika Love Chew.
Oh, one word.
You know, I'm Chuck Gaffney, of course, the runner of the site here.
The guy that likes to talk.
Who doesn't know how to shut the hell up.
We should introduce our guest, because I think he's a ghost now. Oh, shit!
Our guest
it's
today.
Valentine's Day, not Halloween.
Yeah, I know.
What is this?
Well, for some people, it's Halloween, Mr. Ghost.
Well,
for some, hey, like with Halloween, there's also, you know, some people just eating a lot of candy too. You know, eating as much candy as you do on Halloween.
Yeah.
Well, welcome our guest. Actually, he's a longtime friend of ours. Actually, I don't know what you want to be called on here. Well, his name is Gene. Wanderer Gene, or what's actually? I'll let you speak, Gene. What? I guess introduce yourself.
all right. Well, my current online handle is Wanderer Gene. I've worn many hats in my long wandering path through otakudom and many other fandoms. But as I said, I've been a longtime otaku gamer, worn many hats, everything from photography to graphic design to audio production to video production, you name it. I've probably done it, but probably nowhere as near as good as half the people who actually do it for a living.
Oh, yeah, I think you know what it is. This is the kind of thing where you keep going at it and then you keep trying, and sometimes don't talk yourself down. I think you can always this is you're doing. Actually, I saw you.
It's all right. It's all right. I proudly call myself the modern day Renaissance man.
Well, you know, that's what it is. I think a lot of us have been doing that in our generation. We're all in every little thing. There's not one thing that we're into now, and sometimes we have to do that in order to get any kind of work. We have to, you know, be an audio, you know, sound engineer. You have to be an animator, a programmer. An illustrator, all these different things, and it's that you're right, like a modern Renaissance man. But the thing is, though, it's now become kind of where you kind of gotta do it, otherwise you're not gonna get anywhere. But
gotta give them the all-in-one shot, or else nobody wants you.
Seriously, but Gene, actually, I think you've also done. You've helped run like Icon over here, right? The convention out here on Long Island. Have you?
Yes. For 2 years, I was the track leader of photography for Icon.
Okay.
Except for the last Icon, which I think was the 2010 Icon.
Yeah, it's been. Yeah.
I was track leader for 2008, 2009. When I took it over from a good friend of mine, David Ng. Haven't talked to him in a while, but he's a good friend of mine. I was also security. I volunteer occasionally for Anime Next. I have some good acquaintances and friends who are on staff there. I even was a panelist at one point for a group called Crazy Otaku, and that was one of the most popular panels during Anime Next, so I hold that as a great achievement of mine.
Nice, yeah, that's right. Because I do remember you talking about that. You guys, the whole panel was full, right? When you had, and it was basically a Q&A, like a lot of the panels usually are, right? Or was it you guys were doing other things too? I think.
Well, oh boy, the biggest the most accurate way I could describe Crazy Otaku is an organized circle jerk. So,
As is many things on the internet, or
but the event
in real life now too.
the event at the panel itself is actually run more like a game show. We have various games, including trivia. We had the Pocky Olympics, which is basically came up with various games that can be played with a stick of Pocky or several sticks of Pocky. Give out prizes. We just have a good time, and our first couple events, I wasn't there for the first couple events, but I came on a couple events later. Unfortunately, I didn't do them anymore after that. But
Mm.
yeah, no, our first big break at Anime Next, we had a line going around almost the entire inside of the building.
Wow.
And after that, they've just been giving us the main event hall. But like I said, that was years ago.
Well, still, it's an amazing thing to do because there's some, especially out east. It's gotten better out east here, in terms of attendance to cons. Actually, as we've seen with like New York Comic Con, it's gotten a little too much.
Oh, I actually think you did prize support for one of the Crazy Otaku events. I remember I remember promoting Chuck's Anime Shrine at one of the events as one of the sponsors.
That's right. I think I think I supplied you guys manga and anime figures, right, or something like that. Or
Something like that. It was a
yeah,
half a decade ago.
God, yeah, it was
Back when we were young and foolish and so beautiful.
back when
Back when we were hot.
before. Oh, I think we lost Gene. He left the scene.
We have to call him.
Yeah.
Again.
Well, he's talking through his phone, so it's a little. Oh,
Right, he's gonna
come through.
he's gonna call us again. Oopsie poopsie.
Oops. It's all right. While we try to get Gene back.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes. Happy Valentine's Day. Actually, we're speaking now from Valentine's Day.
Give me kisses. I want a kiss.
You want a kiss?
I want a
On
kiss.
live? Oh,
Yeah,
God.
live.
All the single people who
What the
hate.
fuck? That was on the cheek. I want lips. Kiss, kiss.
There are people who in Valentine's Day they're purposely bashing the day because they hate the lovey-dovey couples.
So,
Because of that.
So,
I know.
who cares?
There we go. Give you a kiss.
Wasn't, ladies and gentlemen, it was not on the lips.
Oh my God.
Okay, that was.
Is this
on
kind of
the lips.
podcast we're making this? Oh my gosh.
What? It's just it was little. They heard us kiss in one of my cartoons in Silly Puppy Love. When I was
Yes.
going, you're so brave.
No, I'm not embarrassed by you by being public display of affection, but you know what it is.
Kiss, kiss.
Well, actually,
Kiss, kiss.
If
As long as no clothes are flying off, the bodies, and we're going 50 Shades of Grey in front of everyone.
which came out in movie theaters today. Of
Yeah, I'm afraid to see it in theaters. I'll
re-
wait till it's on Netflix.
I don't really care about it at all, honestly.
You don't care about sex?
Well, 50 Shades of Grey.
Guys, he don't care about sex.
Oh dear God. Okay. This podcast is going. Oh
Do
my
you
God.
not care about rich guys having sex?
Anywho,
Is that what it
let's get Gene back.
is? Answer my question.
What?
Do you not like 50 Shades of Grey because it's a rich guy having sex?
Yeah, that's it.
Whoa! Where am I coming into this?
Welcome back, Gene.
I'm asking
They don't
Charlie. The reason why he doesn't want to watch 50 Shades of Grey is because he doesn't want to watch a rich guy have sex. Is that why? This has something to do about the money thing?
Wow. Wow, you are a cold-hearted snake, Danielle.
No,
I prefer a gamer.
gamer.
Yeah, I'm a gamer.
Misogynist.
I'm evil, especially during
Yeah,
Law
I'm
and
a
Order.
gamer, you shitlord.
I'm a cis white male. What do you expect?
Excuse me, I don't appreciate your handing out of cisgender identities. I'm a trigender pyrofox from the forest planet.
I'm an asexual napkin.
You didn't answer my question.
It's because I'm an asexual napkin. That's why I don't like seeing rich guys having BDSM with their with their virgin slaves, like in 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, we're talking about how 50 Shades of Grey just came out today, and also, well, Gene, I guess we can ask you this too. What do you feel about one thing trending online today? Because today's Valentine's Day and everything. You notice how people were saying, the hashtag "Why I'm single," and a lot of people talking about, I don't. A lot of Valentine's Day talk was basically, "Hey, I'm just gonna go sit down, do nothing, because I don't really care about all that." What is your feelings about when you see Valentine's Day? Do you roll your eyes and be like, "Oh, these freaking couples and the lovey-dovey stuff"? I know you
Oh
know,
boy.
yeah. What do you feel about
Uh,
that stuff? If
well,
you don't
I
mind me
mean,
asking.
oh, that's fine. I mean, I've been in a good relationship for the last several years, so I haven't necessarily spent the Valentine's Day alone in a dog's age. But I understand where that's coming from. I mean, in a way, I kind of feel that our current generation is maybe several years behind where, to bring otakudom into this,
Hmm.
is several years behind where Japan is right now with their society structure. In Japan, everyone works too hard. Everyone's so stressed and so busy that they don't have time for a social life or even a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
I've noticed that with other professionals my age, they're just simply too busy to really hold down a relationship. And at some point, you have to have some pride in your self-worth. So something like Valentine's Day, I guess if you're single, just let yourself know, well, I may not be in a relationship right now, but
Right.
hey, I'm a great guy and I know it.
Yeah. No, you know what it is too. Yeah, you got people who that's the thing too when they're really busy, and that's the thing. They might not just be in a relationship, and it makes them it sometimes I guess you feel like a little bit out of the loop, but at the same time, I think a lot of the annoyances, I think a lot of the things that people definitely can harp on when they see Valentine's Day stuff, at least here in America, is like mainly the new couples, the couples who just started dating, maybe not even within a year, and they're like maybe still in that honeymoon phase and everything. They're
Wait,
like,
aren't we in the honeymoon phase?
You've been in the honeymoon phase for 10 years and you aren't even married
I
yet.
know,
13
it'll be
years.
almost it'll be
It'll be
13 in
almost
April.
13 years.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we've been no joke. We started dating a month after I launched Chuck's Anime Shrine. I launched it in March of 2002. It became its own domain name. Before that, it was like just a side school project, and then I launched it in March, and I started dating Danielle in April, practically a month later. So it's been
Oh, jeez.
so we've been together practically the entire length of the site age too.
Yep.
It's
Oh,
Yep.
geez. So 13 years ago, that means I've known for 12. Oh, Jesus Christ. That means I've known you guys for literally half my life.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. It's hey,
Time flies when
time
you look at
definitely
it
does.
that
Time
way.
does fly. It doesn't feel like it's been that long.
No, and
Well, high school was a giant brick of time that we don't acknowledge existing.
yeah, and you know what it is too. I mean, I've been out of high school for 12 years now, so but it doesn't feel like it, but at the same time, it does still feel like it. It's weird. At one point it feels like a long time ago, and then sometimes it doesn't feel like a long time ago. It's odd, and I guess to kind of bring things also back into more of the anime stuff too, or you know, this thing you also remember in high school when you're going through when you into anime. Well, you got into anime probably it was right in middle school. I think you got into anime, right, Gene? Or
I was homeschooled
oh, okay.
during the late end of elementary to middle school. Do you remember what year the Big Apple Anime Fest was in? The
Oh,
last one.
that was I think that was 2003 ish,
All right,
2004.
2003. So about a year and a half before that, because Big Apple Anime Fest was my first anime convention.
Oh, nice. Well,
So
isn't that what became New York Anime Fest eventually? Big Apple Anime Fest.
eventually,
Uh,
eventually, some people from I believe some people from that organization went over to do
right.
NAF.
Which unfortunately, well, you know what happened a couple what was it 2 3 years ago? It got eaten up by New York Comic Con, and
Oh
just
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I mean, in all honesty, going back to Crazy Otaku, I had my friends Ben and Mary come down from upstate New York, so we would go into the city for NAF and for its first year, and it was a joke.
Uh,
It felt like a press event rather than a fan event.
for New York Anime Fest, you saying was like that? Really?
Right.
Well, you know what it was? When we were talking with our guest last week, I was bringing up the point that it felt still a little bit more like it still felt like a party there and felt like a closer event. But I know
Good.
it's still New York Anime Fest definitely did, but New York Comic Con definitely felt like that. I think well because I came in at the very tail end of New York Anime Fest towards its last 2 years. So you're probably right. In comparison to say something like we have something like out here when the way Icon was in back when we first met. It's definitely a more you're right. It's more of a press event. I think a lot of the cons have become that because it's become obvious that nowadays that geek culture is in. It's the
Oh,
big
you can make a buck or two off of it. Oh, we got to get our press guys in there now, now, now. We got to publicize the heck out of this.
yeah, and that also goes into why you get the game journalists that are I know don't want to jump into the whole GamerGate thing just yet. I would probably get some stuff for that anyways later, but I can.
Oh
It's
God.
some of that is in that. I think partially it's all just a marketing scheme. It's really just hey, this is popular now, go with it. So you get unfortunately, I think in this industry we're now seeing a lot of the salesman types who are rather ignorant to the very field that it's there. I sell anime figures and stuff on my site, but I think one point I try to put out is that I am an anime fan too. Even though, granted, lately because of work and everything, I've not been watching as many series as I want to. Um, I think some of that authentic, being an authentic fan in this stuff is sometimes we're losing that on the people who do the running of the shows. Well, someone is. Do you agree with that, Gene? Especially someone who's
Oh,
been in the cons, in
I
the
agree immensely. I mean, going back about a decade ago, I mean, you would go to a con, you would see Funimation, you would see Viz, you would see Tokyo Pop,
mm,
actual reps from the companies, all together there, saying how great anime and manga is. Oh, how great are these fans? How great are we to be involved in this community? And over 10 years, it's almost become this cutthroat, dog eat dog business world, and
yeah.
I'm a little afraid to see where this might go.
Yeah, because I think it's the one thing of when we have stuff that's been not mainstream become mainstream, it's the one downfall that happens from that. It's not being like all hipster about it and go, oh, I was into it before it was cool, but sometimes it gets watered down when it becomes part of the main vernacular of everything. I feel that uh yes, it's great to see New York Comic Con and a lot of these Comic Cons get really popular and famous, but some of it does indeed get lost in the the salesman is the market
The
mentality.
monetization.
Yeah,
Let's be
I
honest,
was
it's
trying
the
to I was trying to come up
monetization.
with yeah I
And
was trying to come up with a word with that. It sometimes feel like it's lost there. I don't know. It, I'm glad that it's at one point I love that gaming culture, anime culture is becoming more accepted. At least here in the West, it's still oddly taboo in Japan in certain ways, in certain circles.
well,
Um,
because for the majority, it's pretty much kids' cartoons.
oh, excuse me. Whoa, getting over a cold. Yeah, yeah, and you see that with some of the stuff that we find popular, and they still are like, oh, that was old, like Sailor Moon, right? It's we look at I don't know. One thing we were talking about today was I don't, what's the name of that anime we were watching today? The
Oh shit.
the Love School or whatever. It's basically it's a new anime that's out. It's about a bunch of guys who are it's Sailor Moon but guys, but it's still like got all the cutesiness to it, and they love warriors and everything. And it's got a lot of subtle
Is
hilarity to it too. It's pretty. It's like satire of Sailor Moon with guys basically.
is it actually like a Bishonen like Pretty Boy parody, or is it like, a bunch of ugly looking guys like kind of parody?
No, it's Pretty Boys.
It's Pretty Boys.
It's Pretty
It's
Boys.
definitely, but it's
Thank God.
I know, right?
it's
Oh my God, Pretty Boys. Can we talk about Pretty Boys?
but what kind of and I know a lot of anime fans, I might get attacked for saying this. As much as I love Sailor Moon, and I'm glad that it's back with Sailor Moon Crystal, but it's also been a topic we even mentioned before, is that when you look at the way Toei Animation's drawing the new Sailor Moon Crystal, there's obviously some, it's a little rough on the edges here and there. Like, you would think that it would be given a lot of budget and care in the animation. There's some mess ups that they're fixing in the Blu-ray releases, but when you're watching it on Crunchyroll, when it's just simulcast and everything, you'll see some facial expressions and stuff, and the eyes are kind of off, and I'm like, wait a second, are they really just throwing Sailor Moon under the rug here and going, all right, we're just gonna appease the West? Because from what Danielle, you've said, and I think it's kind of true, a lot of people in Japan, they see Sailor Moon not as the way we see it here in the West, because we got it much later than they did.
Oh yeah, it's a weird kind of circumstance. I'm going to preface this, and it's going to be a little controversial by saying I've only watched a few episodes of the original Sailor Moon series when I was a lad growing up, and that Sailor Moon Crystal in reality is my first actual taste of Sailor Moon.
Okay.
So everything I say may be wrong, but I'm just saying that out front. But yeah, I agree with you. I kind of feel like it's polished, but not polished in a way. I feel like it's almost tailored to American tastes, so to
Yeah.
say.
There's decent amount of post production I see in it, but the initial drawings and these and everything. I mean, it just seems off,
Rushed.
rushed.
It's rushed.
It definitely seems rushed, and it's like, how can you do that to Sailor Moon? It's like, because we're looking at this newer anime that's out too with this is a parody of Sailor Moon with guys, and it's drawn so well compared to it. If they were doing all the effects and everything in Sailor Moon Crystal like they're doing in this one, it would just make it that much more better.
Well, what's the production
That much.
schedule for the parody? Because I know they're cranking out a new episode every 2 weeks. And that's
Yeah,
a little kind of ridiculous for a big production like Sailor Moon. I mean, South Park does an episode in less than a week, but they're just doing 2D animation. So
Well,
right.
South Park does Flash
They
animation.
it's Flash now.
It's
It's
Flash.
been for, I think.
really,
Yeah,
Yes.
they do
That's
it in
why
Flash.
they able to do it fast
Or
because they take
maybe
the
After Effects now.
well, still
they
it's
take the
only 2D
drawings
animation.
of the characters that are already made and just change their expressions that they already drew. So that's why it's easy to go fast because they're using the same art.
Yeah, other than the lip sync, it's not exactly frame by frame. That's
Yeah.
the thing, and it's and that, we see that with a number of, well, South Park does it, of course, but number of Western animations you have it where it's even some of the stuff that's on like the Hub too, where it's, heck, even the new My
Well-
Little Pony is still, it's not a frame by frame. It's
Well, remember,
Still a more simpler animation style.
Yeah.
Family Guy takes 6 months to make one episode.
yeah,
6 months, make one episode.
yeah.
And
Are
it's
they
like,
doing it side by side along with other episodes though, or
No, I think it's just like one.
I think it might be one at a time.
Yeah,
Well,
it's one at a time. That's what Seth said. I don't know if that's true, but that's what he says. And you don't think looking at it, but apparently so.
yeah, they outsource Family Guy to Korea to do the animation to a Korean studio. I forgot which one it is. It's the same one that does The Simpsons, if I'm not mistaken. Now the same studio in Korea will do South Korea will do Simpsons, Bob's Burgers, Family Guy.
Simpsons did it.
Yeah,
Simpsons
did it.
Did it. Did it before you.
Now, and like I said in the last podcast too, with my guest John, it's we know from the animator's point of view too how hard it is.
I know.
Danielle particularly knows.
Yeah.
It's not
Awful.
easy. It's not. So
No,
we give
it's
them a lot of
not.
credit at the same time too. We don't, but at the same time, when we see a newer series like that have that kind of, and it's a parody. They don't take itself too seriously. The I mean, the equivalent to Luna in this series is a pink wombat looking creature. That
Oh, need to get into this.
it's funny.
And then the villain one is a
The-
little
The villain is a little green hedgehog.
yeah.
And
and he
he's
has
sitting
this
in a
really
teacup.
deep voice, and it was hilarious. And he
It's-
keeps crawling into the teacup and just sitting there.
I gotta look up. I forgot the name. We only watched like the first 2 episodes and of it, but but if they did that kind of care in the animation looked like it's not as really detailed as something like Free. Free had a really good budget. It looks like on there. Free was done the animation is really crisp in that, or like Attack on Titan, which has really good. I feel very very good animation in it.
Oh, it's beautiful. It just seems to flow.
This one is maybe a little bit less than that in detail, at least from what I can tell. But it's still so much. If Sailor Moon had it, it would look
budget
perfect.
Got cut, so that's why it looks rush. Because I think they have less people work on it than the other ones, and they're also doing Dragon Ball Z movies. So I think most of their budget is going towards Dragon Ball Z movies.
Yeah.
Right now.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Toei Animation draws, they own the rights, and they've done the animation in the past for both the whole Dragon Ball series, Sailor Moon. They own the rights in Japan. When I buy stuff, when I stock up my figurines, it's Toei that runs it. But sometimes it gets, of course, the Funimation stickers and stuff. So there's a little licensing flip between that, but it's always Toei that's really the main people behind it. So they're right now really focused on the revival of Frieza, which is going to be out in 2 months.
Yay!
Which looks and from what we saw from the Battle of the Gods, which was the newest one, they did do really good in the animation on that. It was also in theaters there, and this one's going to be in IMAX 3D. It was
They're pulling out the big guns.
oh yeah, it's the first anime to be in IMAX 3D.
Well, I mean, you have to think though. I mean, going back, I mean, Dragon Ball Z. When did it come out?
I think.
Hold on, let me look it up.
Well, I think. Well,
I'm
if
just
you go
going
back
for
to
a generalization.
well, if you go back to Dragon Ball, it's if I'm not mistaken, it was the animation started in '86,
Mhm.
87, I think. I know Dragon Ball
I
Z
think it's
spanned.
definitely around early '90s.
Yeah, well, Dragon Ball Z ended, I believe, in 93, 92. I mean, the Majin Buu saga, I think, started like in '89. It was still, of course, it took forever
Better.
it took forever to get over here to the States.
Okay, it started in 1984.
84. Wow.
November
Dragon Ball?
20.
Well, was that the manga or
It just says
the show run? I guess. Yeah.
the original run. So I guess the show. I guess from what
It might-
what it's telling me on here, and in 1995.
Actually, oh no, 86.
That's
Yeah, it was
the
February.
English.
That's the. No, it's the. We're looking at Wikipedia, of course.
Sorry.
Yeah, the animation TV
I was
run.
looking at the manga. I'm sorry.
The manga
Oh, no.
started in '84.
Oh,
It started in '84, so the series is starting even later than that.
86.
80
started.
All right.
DBZ started in '86, the animation, and it ended in '89. So the entire Majin Buu saga wasn't even drawn in the '90s.
Oh, jeez.
And I think I remember seeing that in the credits when the Earth was blown up in that episode of Majin Buu. It said 1989, and it's like, so yeah. So it's been a while.
So Dragon Ball Z is older than me. Holy cow!
Dragon Ball
Yeah.
Z, and yeah, the Majin Buu saga. The whole series of Dragon Ball Z was in the '80s.
Wow. But anyway, getting back to my point,
Mhm.
though, it roughly 2-3 decades ago is when you have the majority of the people who grew up with, the Dragon Ball franchise.
Yeah.
And you have to wonder, even in Japan and in America, it's going to be a hot seller.
Yeah.
To all
Sailor
the
Moon's very
graphics.
popular too.
Sailor Moon is when you were there in 2003 in Japan, you said that people were like Sailor Moon. I remember that when I was a kid, and these are like 30, 40-year-olds or older.
They were a little bit older.
Oh, a little bit. They were older than that.
little bit. Well, one lady said that to me, and her daughter's the same age as me. So.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Let me look up when Sailor Moon came out, because I think Sailor Moon came out around the same time Dragon Ball Z came out. I'm guessing. Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh no, it came out in 1992 on TV.
Sailor Moon was later.
Yeah.
It was 92 to 97 was the original run. So Sailor Moon, they already developed, they already drawn, and they were done with Dragon Ball Z, and then and then Sailor Moon was afterwards.
Right. But you have to also remember that Sailor Moon was a shoujo series. It was the targeted demographic was young ladies.
Right.
I mean, even going back to the live action Sailor Moon uh, run, if you go and look at their live action concerts, it's all single digit age children with their parents.
That's true. And it was marketed like that here in the States in its initial showing, which it did show in the States when it was still going on in Japan, which was back in the 90s. That was a rare thing for any anime.
Oh yeah, I remember playing SNES with my friends and then, turning on Sailor Moon.
Yeah. I remember in 8th grade, and this was back in 98, my teacher, my math teacher, I remember him saying that his daughter was watching Sailor Moon. And this is, yeah, so at least going back to 98, and that was, the show stopped airing in 97 in Japan, but still they showed it, I remember back, the whole Deke ending with like Deke at like
Oh,
90.
God, with the sparkle on top of the eye.
Yeah, the kid, see the kid looking out the window, Deke.
I always thought he said dick.
That was earlier than that. That was earlier. I remember watching that when I was in elementary school. I was, from up until like 95. And so, I don't know. I think there's another issue too, and it was actually brought up by Miyazaki. It's a little bit offensive to us anime fans, though. That's the issue. I think, and I guess there might be some validity to this. I would like it to not be true, but he was saying that it's in a way anime fans are what's causing animation to not be as good, because and which is odd. And I think I know where he's coming from, because
it's you be careful what you wish for mentality.
I think it's also because you're getting a lot of because people who were in animation who got into the field earlier on in the earlier days, they were people who emulated Walt Disney, major artists. They went in. Animation was very much treated like it was very, very strict artistic integrity of the animation, where you have to know the modeling and the scaling, the lighting and everything, just precise. And you know, on a level like Miyazaki, I feel that I think what Miyazaki was saying when he said that was, and it might be somewhat true now. I hate saying this, but it might be that some of the people who were avid fans of anime might not, as much as we like to draw and everything, and there's a lot of great artists out there, I think some of them that have been getting into it might not have that old school artistic professionalism. I think a lot of it is, I think it might be slightly half-assed to some point. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I think there's some people that, and what it is you're getting a lot more people who are enthusiastic about wanting to draw animation. Back then, it was people who were already maybe skilled artists in their own right and who can do frame-by-frame animation really, really well. And that became their fallback from doing, some other type of art. Now it's people who are specifically going in for that, but it might actually be kind of watering down the talent pool. I don't know if
completely with you.
It sounds weird, and it sounds a bit offensive to other artists, and I don't want to be sounding offensive to artists, but
I don't think that's the case.
No, it's not that at all.
I think it's
because you got some great artists on the internet. You can see that
demand for it is getting higher and higher.
So they need more people.
And I think it's becoming like Hollywood, unfortunately, because Hollywood does the same type of movies all the freaking time.
Yeah.
There's never anything new anymore, and anime is becoming like that. It's always the schoolgirl. It's always you're in school. It's always this.
Yeah. The slice of life
the
kind of thing all the
fantasy
time.
and the art and the deepness and the dream world kind of feeling that anime used to do really well and make you question, like, kind of like fuck up your mind at the end. I miss those type of animes. They're not made as much
Yeah.
anymore because they're not as popular as the schoolgirl dealing with slice of life, and those are fine. But I
Yeah.
think the artistic, like, wanting to make something like out that's different has been being like cut off, and only Attack on Titans is the one that's really, you know, going into the whole like what if kind of universe, and that's why it's so popular, because it's different.
Yeah, because it doesn't take place in it has a military school, I guess you can say, but it's not taking place in school specifically. It's not like yeah, like I said, it's not that slice of life stuff, and a lot of anime, it's gotten now they're starting to get more into the fantasy, I think now, so because I think people are starting to realize that
Because they want Sailor Moon back.
yeah, but there is a lot of anime out there that's that still is very meta. It gets too meta, where it's like, okay, you have animes talking about anime, about anime, about anime. It's like, you know,
I mean, look at Haruhi Suzumiya. I mean, the entire series was basically one giant joke at Otaku.
yeah. And what I like about this one, this series, which I feel bad I forgot the name of it. I'm gonna kick myself for not knowing it. Danielle's not gonna look it up.
Look it up. Hold on,
They
everyone.
they go at it the way that you should go at satire, not being so meta. I mean, they still it is and it isn't. They
Not
make
Excel Saga,
Excel. Well, Excel Saga was great. Excel.
Comic Party,
It's what was that?
Comic Party.
No, no. This is this new anime. It's
Oh,
actually it's a new one. Yeah. Oh, that one with the guys that are pretending to be that are like Sailor Scouts.
okay.
It's it's not, the parody's done right. Well, Excel Saga was done in its own right very well, but I think after around the time of when Excel Saga came out, it was that's when I feel that anime in a way kind of went downhill with the watering down and meta too much. Oh, and yeah,
The entire thing is, I agree with you. I mean,
I know.
you almost have an oversaturation of the market per se, full of artists, which is good. Every artist is entitled to their artwork, and
Absolutely.
9 times out of 10, the artists put out amazing work,
Mm-hmm.
despite their level of skill. I think the point Miyazaki was trying to make is, who's going to be the next Studio Ghibli? Who's going to be the next Gainax? I mean, right now you just
Right.
have major companies just pushing out, like you said, the meta anime, the meta stories, but who's going to really push the boundaries?
Right. Who's gonna keep that artistic integrity? That because Miyazaki was the kind of guy, and he even said it. We saw the guy from Pixar said it too. He was, until of course the guy from Pixar showed him some of the stuff. He was like, I don't want it drawn on 3D animation. I don't like this 3D animation. He still is like that, Miyazaki, but he got a little bit more of an appreciation from it when he became friends with the head of Pixar. But you are losing a little bit of that in today's anime, at least in production world. I feel that you're losing a little bit of that older, when before someone became an animator, they were a the full-fledged artist. And I think that's what Miyazaki was trying to get the point at, and I think we're seeing maybe less of that now. Because the statement that Miyazaki said was a lot more offensive. He goes, anime is losing it. The anime could lose out because of anime fans. And Miyazaki said that. I was shocked, but that from what I'm getting, that's really the point that he says. Sometimes it's great that anime brings out a lot of people to be artists, artists and animators, and
Right.
it brings out a lot of talents in people. But I think some people have to. We see this also in the game development world. I was talking about it with game development, and we see it with GamerGate too, with some of the newer game developers that are there, that are especially the ones that are drinking the social justice warrior punch. They're like, oh, I know how to make something.
Let's not segue into GG.
Yeah, I always have to segue into that. But you can't. I think from what I'm saying is, don't be content with where you're at. Always be trying to learn and everything. I think some people, at least I'm seeing it in the programming end, at least the game development end, some people are getting really content with being able to make something that is very, very simple, relatively simple to make compared to the rest of the industry. Like and the journalists and everything are promoting that. And I think you also see a little bit of that in some animation circles too, where okay, some guy made something that's at least it's somewhat funny. Okay, great, ship it, throw it out there. But I guess that's, I don't know. I'm kind of jumping around here with this stuff, but
Well,
We should change
I
the
under,
subject.
yeah, I know. It's
I
well,
mean, I understand where you're coming from. I mean, just to put it in a bit more practically, because not everyone here is a animator or a video game programmer. Let's use something that
yeah,
everybody has. Everybody has a camera
right.
on their smartphone.
Hmm.
Everybody has access to a camera, and
Right.
everybody loves the fact that they can be a
Oh my god, where's my
photographer.
phone?
Here's the question:
Oh, thanks.
do you know how to develop pictures in a dark room? No,
No.
I do.
Wait,
Right.
what?
I know.
Wait, what? What was the question?
Oh, Danielle lost her headphone here. Do you know how to make stuff in a dark room? Well, because everyone else does
Yeah.
not. You do. Yeah,
Yeah.
Danielle does. But
I took
he's asking.
classes.
We were in classes together
Yeah.
back in high school.
Yeah.
We
That's
took
I
the
probably
same
would
class.
suck at it now because I haven't done it in so long. But
I mean, I can argue with, especially since I work as a web developer for my day job is a web developer for a pro camera store. The film is for the most part a dead art, in a way. But you're right though. I know what you're saying. You're saying that it's because people now who go, hey, I got a smartphone and I'm taking a picture. Oh, I'm the best photographer in the world. It's like, no, not really. Right? I'm sorry. I'll let you
It's
continue.
so many. No, it's all right. There's so many. I mean, using a photography term, it's not the piece of glass that matters, but it's your creative knowledge and it's your technical knowledge.
Right.
I mean, you go into Photoshop. I mean, there's even editions of Photoshop custom catered to people who know nothing about photography that just want to edit their photographs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're getting to. I mean, not saying that anyone who takes a photograph, it's not going to be as, I'm not going to say, oh well, your photography is not as good as mine because I have all this knowledge and haha. The point is, you never took the time to understand the technical and creative knowledge, the actual time it takes to develop and perfect an art, over time, to know what to look for, to know what to strive for.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like basically I think I feel some people get content. I mean, it's great that we have these tools. I think they're great, but I think some people are
Oh, of
using it a
course,
bit
no
of
one's denying that. But to call yourself an artist is jumping the shark a little bit much.
yeah, it's like in the programming field, like saying that you're a programmer or a game programmer just because you know Twine. That's like it's like
wait, what are you trying to say?
no, but I feel that it's great that we have. I think what these tools do, it allows people to get more done with less effort, and I think it allows people who had no skill in this and can't get into who need that little bit of a help to get into it and to move forward and to become better in it. It's great. I think that's what they're there for. And I
Oh,
want
it's perfect. It's the perfect entry level.
there's a lot of stuff like that in animation now with I mean, heck, I downloaded recently Clip Studio Paint. I'm maybe getting back to drawing because I need that little extra help with like the 3D modeling on there to get back to maybe learning how to draw a scale proportions and everything right on people and stuff, because and that's great. But if I go and I use a helper tool like that, and I pretty much trace it all out and go, look at me, I'm the greatest artist in the world. That's a lie. It's still. What do you,
I'm
Danielle,
Instagramming you.
Danielle is Instagramming me as we're talking right now.
I thought this was a perfect time.
Oh
for
my
Instagram.
god.
Put a Instagram
Speaking about-
hashtag Chuck on this pedestal.
Speaking about
Chuck-
getting
Chuck-
meta and
Chuck won't
recursive.
get off the
So-
subject. We're boring people to death now.
All right. No, but I'm just saying is don't settle for the very beginning. I'm glad that a lot of people are able to get to that initial step, and that's what we need. We need a lot of people to be on even ground when it comes to animation, be it game programming. We want people to get to that initial step, but don't settle for that initial step. Don't let these tools be a crutch.
I know exactly what you mean. I mean, just yesterday, I made my Hello World program in C++, and I'm not considering myself a programmer, but
Mhm.
now it only gives me so much more reason to actually go out and learn it.
Right, and it's a big thing to get into, and saying it doesn't. A lot of these other creative fields, be it programming, animation stuff, it's the kind of thing that it'll definitely humble you every time that you get a new move up a new level in it in skill, where you feel great about yourself, and you're like, wow, I did that. There's some things that will humble you. Be like, wow, okay, there's still a lot of things I don't know, but don't let that knock you down. Be like, let that be a thing of, wow, there's much more I can learn and get even better, and move and level up. Level up like in a video game, not level up like they say in SVU, in that that newer episode of SVU.
I didn't even watch it. I'm not even going to bother. This is why I don't even watch TV.
Yeah, I wanted to at least put that in there. I didn't see it, so I can't really talk too much about it. But I've seen what was being shown, and it's
He leveled up.
Oh God. Yeah, if you get the reference on that, it's pretty fucked up if you ask me. But it's just so it was done, of course. Once again, another gamer witch hunt, and even the social justice warriors who made that narrative for months and a couple years now towards gamers hate it, and it's like, well, you guys made your bed, now sleep in it. But
you go on Reddit the other day. I mean, you have game developers calling out Kotaku saying, hey, guess what? This is the fruit that you will now reap.
I know.
Thanks a lot.
There was a guy from Ubisoft who was saying it too, I think, or at least a writer from Ubisoft was like, "My God, what the hell? This is great." I want to see more developers and coders come out and say that, because some of us are a little bit of a minority. These programmers that are telling the game journalism, "Hey, you guys are being idiots. Stop it." I know, going right back in the GamerGate again. I gotta stop that. Oh. I'm sorry.
Everything segues into Gamergate.
God, it's weird how it does. I don't know. It's
because they made it about everything, everything about our culture, everything about I can't World of Warcraft because it's misogynistic. I can't watch anime because it's misogynistic. I can't even do bestiality because it's a sin. I don't know how that got brought up, but it is.
That's misogyny. Oh my! I'm sorry. I was Danielle.
Oh wait,
apparently
wait into guy.
Danielle's Instagramming me apparently, and I am my facial expression I'm giving is the dumbest. No, it is. I look like I got cerebral palsy. I'm sorry. I look like now I'm gonna get in trouble for saying that.
Oh, Charlie, it's okay. All right, well, let's change the subject.
All right. Well, actually, one of the subjects we wanted to talk about being that it's Valentine's Day and everything.
What was that?
Shipping.
Oh, yeah.
Shipping characters. I know, Danielle, you wanted to talk about this, and we mentioned this beforehand. We'll before the podcast, we'll talk about shipping your characters. What and anyone listening to this right now too.
Don't get angry. Don't hate us. Don't send hate emails.
We're about to start a shipping war, so please direct all your hate mail to Chuckles Shop.
Shipping, no shipping, whatever or who you want to ship.
This is just our personal what we like.
So well, hey, let's talk about the ship recently that became canon that everyone is in love with, and what that one is.
Korosami.
Yes,
I was
Korosami.
gonna say you and me, but okay.
Oh, okay. Korosami.
Oh, it's like nobody saw that coming for 13 years.
Oh, me and you shipped, yeah. Oh gosh. Gene. Well, shipping or no? First of all, shipping or no shipping? Do you like shipping characters? When you watch a series, or in some cases, shipping characters from other series together.
I mean, I understand the allure of shipping, and I've definitely in the past said, oh man, if that guy and that guy hooked up, not necessarily guys, but if these two people hooked up, that would be like they would be perfect for each other. But I'm not one of these zealots that have a Tumblr devoted to their daily shifting OTP. That's not me.
Yeah, I've seen there's some.
But I was like that when I was younger, so I can't say I don't understand why they do that, because I've done that, and I look at their stuff because they like the same people I like together.
I mean, just look at your old anime music videos and all your old sketches and everything like that. I mean, it's pretty evident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a
Well,
loser.
no. Well, some people ship. There's some people who have. That's all their AMVs are. Is like these like weird. And some of them I feel a weird shipping combination. It's like what?
But you know that song, I Ship It?
True. That was a really good AMV. Very well edited one too.
Is there a
Ship It.
ship that
The
you
original
still
music
love?
video was pretty good.
Is there a ship
Yeah.
that you still love that you like like a really old one that you still hold on to since like high school or middle school? Do you still like, oh man, I still love these two together? They're perfect.
It has to be San and Ashitaka.
Aw.
Like it has to be. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like it's the narrative of the movie, but since you said going back to since like middle school, it was like, yeah, that was the first time I was really introduced to, male female relations, whether or not they were romantic or not. And, that's always stuck with me, the relationship between San and Ashitaka.
Yeah. Well, I liked. Princess Mononoke was really good anime. Obviously a Miyazaki film, and
All right, so what's yours? What's the
a
ship?
ship that I do.
Yeah, a ship that you held on to. Still to this day, you're still like, I love these two.
Well, it's always been Cloud and Tifa, but that's not exactly. Again, it's the narrative of the story. It's not exactly. All right. Some people can
Sure.
argue with that. They be like, "Oh no, it's Ares and Cloud." No, it's this and Cloud. It's like, oh no. It was obviously.
He sounds like a real.
All right. See, now I'm sounding like a fan. Now I'm sounding like a real fan. Yeah, it's
But, okay,
Tifa and
let
Cloud.
me ask you this: why do you like those two together?
I guess it just goes back to the fact that that game Final Fantasy VII is what got me into anime in general, and so that was the start of me getting into the culture, and I feel that.
No,
just
no, that's the game.
That's the
why,
game,
Why
but-
do you like that couple together?
because it's from that game.
I feel
I don't know.
You're not answering the question.
No, I'm not.
background from this, considering you two have cosplayed as these characters before, I'm picturing Danielle with a frying pan ready to hear your answer.
Because we represent them in a way. We look like Danielle. You look a bit. Well, I call you Tifa Yuna because you have a little bit of both of her features. I'd say maybe a little bit more of Yuna than Tifa. In
My
ways,
dad
but-
thinks I look more like Tifa.
Really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're part Japanese, so you got that. You have that look a little bit to you where you can see, and you look, especially when you dress up in the Yuna outfit. And we even nickname you Yuna at times because you look.
Yeah.
Because
My
you look
nickname.
like.
It's a good nickname.
'Cause you look like
I
Yuna.
like that nickname.
But yeah, because
course.
it reminds. Yeah, I know the answer to the question is yeah, because it reminds you of us. It reminds of it's of us.
No, that wasn't my.
No?
I,
Oh, God.
I was asking, what about Tifa and Cloud that you admire as a couple? The thought of them as a couple. What do you admire?
They both need each other.
See, that was the answer. I
That's
was
the
looking
answer.
for.
Yeah, there's not, and there, 'cause there's no.
5 minutes just for that.
Yeah, yeah, they both need each other. Because and then it's a wonderful argument against the whole damsel in distress thing. It's like, well, no, they were both damsels in distress. To
I think
a point.
Cloud was a bit more of a damsel in distress.
Yeah, the whole time he was in trouble.
I mean,
with
Tifa
his-
helped him so many times.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, even look at Advent Children. I mean, Tifa pretty much had to slap him out of his stupor every 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Actually, if you read the little novel they made in the in between stories, Tifa pushed him to get to own his own business because he wasn't doing anything. He was so depressed. She forced him to run his own delivery business.
Yeah.
So Tifa is there, always help Cloud, grow and be strong, and she's always
A role
there
model
for
figure
him.
for
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
And there's a part in the book when she was feeling really depressed about after everything that happened, and it upset Cloud,
Oh, excuse
and
me.
he
Sorry.
even said that you're more beautiful and strong than you realize, and he's like, I'll always be there to remind you, and I was like, oh my
Yeah.
god, these two belong together.
Uh,
So I guess we're up to mine now.
yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Since middle school, it's Mamoru and Usagi
Oh yeah.
from Sailor
from
Moon.
Sailor Moon, yeah.
Those two are my
Those are
forever
your
couple.
the couple that you.
They are
yeah.
my forever couple, and you got me the ring that looks very similar to the ring.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Which
It-
is yes. But the reason why I like those two together because Mamoru is like he's really smart and he's like a well put together person, and Usagi is like the complete opposite. She's very clumsy. She's not really good in school, and she's kind of like the loser. Yeah, she has friends kind of person. But he sees the good, like the good side of her. Her flaws doesn't blind him, and he doesn't think of her less or anything.
Yeah.
So I always like that with those two. Like, it's again, they need each other. It's like, hey,
it's a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any cross series shipping at all that you that
Lord.
I don't really.
I know I have
don't
one.
really have
hold
Here
the
goes
phone.
the bulk of the podcast. Right?
This
Hold the
is
phone.
where the shipping gets. I feel weird in my opinion.
But I it's weird, but it's fun. At
yeah,
the same time.
it's
Mine
it's like
is
fantasy.
Trunks and Sailor Jupiter.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. You do like that.
Would really like to see those two together because they both
Makes sense.
I know you didn't see the original Sailor Moon, but in the original Sailor Moon, when Jupiter appears, she appears out of nowhere and she actually saves Usagi from getting mugged by these group of guys. And when Trunks appeared, he appeared out of nowhere and he defeated Frieza. and they're both very mature and they both blush and they're both romantic. And they're just I think they're perfect. And she fights. Jupiter knows martial arts.
Well, Trunks now
Well,
does.
the difference.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, the difference between Sailor Jupiter and Trunks is one of them has never taken the villain of an entire story arc and killed them in less than half a second.
Yeah, that's true. Oh wait, didn't Jupiter?
Jupiter didn't, but Sailor Venus in the manga did. She killed Queen Beryl in like
that's true.
2 seconds. In the manga, she did not. In the
not
Sailor
Jupiter.
Crystals or the
Yeah. Did Sailor Jupiter like destroy an enemy at one time, like just with her own powers alone, without Sailor Moon's help, or was it just?
I'm trying to remember. She did almost defeat an enemy by herself, but she sacrificed herself to save Usagi. It was part of the In Between series special that they never brought here, but we'll probably get it now because they're redoing the dub of it, so we'll probably see it now.
Mm-hmm.
But you can probably see it somewhere on YouTube. She almost saved her.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, Gene.
So that's my question. What's yours?
Was there two characters in a non-related series that you thought would be great together?
I got a bunch, and I can list them off. I can go for hours just alone on this. But,
really? Okay. I'm sorry if I called it weird. I just saying it's where it gets a little mainly to an outsider to it. They really would be like, "What the hell is this?"
Oh, who cares? We're fans.
Yeah, true. We're all fans.
Who cares?
Well, hey, I got really out there ships, and I got more reasonable ships. So let's start this out with a reasonable ship. I'm gonna go with Sosuke Sagara from the Full Metal Panic franchise and Makoto from Love Hina.
Oh, that. Huh.
That's interesting.
They've got that serious, logical. I mean, I could see them going into battle side by side with each other.
Yeah. Well, they're both, like you said, they're both logical characters. They're very, very stern characters. If I'm remembering both of the characters correctly, it's been a while since I've watched either series.
Oh, it's been a while for me too, but just knowing their character archetypes. I mean, you got Sosuke, clean cut, military, very stern, very logical. Then you got Makoto. It's been so long since I watched Love Hina. But anyway, the samurai girl, and she's taking so long to develop her art of being a swordswoman. I mean, even one of her songs from the Love Hina OST is Shinken, which I pretty much think translates to seriousness. So
that or kill something from her. Sheena is well, no, you're right. I think it might be that. Yeah. Huh. Is there any others? Any other ships that you wanna?
Okay.
Maybe some of the.
I started out with the logical one, and I'm going to go for a really out there one, and I'm going to warn you that this contains spoilers for both people involved in the ship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Haruhi Suzumiya and Shinji Ikari.
Oh. Oh. That's an interesting
Because,
ship.
Oh, I kind of
because
like that ship.
in a way, they're kind of a duality. You have Shinji, who represents the depression, the anxiety, the careful thought that goes behind everything he does, and
Yeah.
then you got Haruhi Suzumiya, that is just basically full of energy, does what she wants, very spontaneous. And here's the spoiler, so mute it now. And they're both arguably deities. So
Yeah. Yeah, I was about. Yeah, I was like, oh
That's
wait.
a really interesting one.
Actually, that's a pretty neat ship.
Yep, that's a
I
cool
like
one.
that one.
Yeah, Gene. Woo! You won the internet.
2
You won it.
points.
Woo!
I
You
think that's-
Gene, you're listening.
500-mile high five.
You leveled up.
No, 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 no.
I'm wiping the blood off my lips right now.
What? Where did that come from?
From the SVU. Isn't that what you were referencing?
Oh.
Never mind.
Oh.
No. Oh, sorry.
was-
Bad
oh.
joke. Bad. And it's bad. That's a bad joke.
Oh, I'm
Bad in
sorry.
multiple ways. Not funny.
I
and-
thought you meant that by the shipping. I'm like, what? Who are you thinking of?
Well, nosebleed. No.
So what's yours, Charlie? What's your
My weird ship?
What is your weird ship?
Weird ship. Well, of course, the one it wasn't weird. I loved the Korsami ship. I was shipping that before it became canon.
Oh, everybody was. Come
Yeah.
on, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
Boop boop. Which one?
A weird couple. A couple from two different series that I've never really thought it up though. I'm gonna try maybe pull one out of thin air
Tifa
right
and
now.
Trunks.
Oh crap!
Oh,
Tifa and Trunks,
That's
isn't it?
right. I kind of
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
I
you
kind of
did.
did. The
You
very front,
did.
the very front of the freaking website
Yeah.
in its
Could-
initial
could you
start
forget
was
that?
Tifa and Trunks on the front of it. When I
We-
first made the
We're,
website,
see,
it
we're
was
perfect for each other.
Oh,
we
God.
keep mixing Trunks with someone.
Tifa and Trunks. Yeah, okay,
That's a
I would
cute
say
pairing,
Tifa and
too.
Trunks. But of course, actually, Trunks has
Why?
now got an official girlfriend.
Love interest.
Love interest. If you've seen,
Which is kinda
spoiler,
weird.
if you've seen the Battle of Gods movie, it's now Mai from the original Dragon Ball series, who's been there the whole time.
Yeah,
Really?
that's a little weird. But it's
Yeah.
cute, but it works in an
Because
odd way.
They got. Did you see the movie at all, Gene?
no, I didn't. Now I'm really interested in seeing this.
Do you want me to divulge it? Or...
Actually, wait.
Oh, you're not going to spoil anything
Are
for
you
me.
sure?
Do you want to wait until you watch it
well,
when
now
you
that
come
you
to
say
visit?
that,
You should really
All right.
watch the Battle of Gods then. And let's put. All right, I'll at least tell you that.
all right,
Yes,
all right,
Trunks,
I got an idea. Since I'm going to be visiting you guys in a week, we'll watch it then, and then we can discuss it next
Again,
week.
Yeah.
Sure,
We'll
that sounds good.
discuss our
Yeah.
fanish.
Sure, yeah, that sounds good. But I can tell you,
Yay,
but
this is good.
at the very least, just give you the little caveat. Now you're definitely interested in watching it. Trunks now has a love interest, and it's Mai, the black hair girl from the original Dragon Ball series.
She
The
originally had dark blue, but
That's-
now
oh,
she
okay.
has black.
Mhm.
I don't know where that came from.
Emperor Pilaf's, who was the first
I
enemy.
mean, the dark blue was always used as black,
Yeah,
especially the older animes. I mean, that's what the whole meme
No, not
really-
really. No.
Well,
She had black hair. It was 100% black. Yeah.
Well, I thought the reasoning for, like, I think what Gene was trying to say, the reasoning for a lot of, especially the older anime, having black would actually be represented in dark blue hair was because of the fact that you don't want strict blacks being seen
No,
on the anime.
No.
No?
Look up Chi-Chi when she was little in
that's
Dragon
true.
Ball. Her hair was completely black.
Oh, yeah.
So was
Yeah,
so was
Yeah, good
Goku. So
Yeah, that's right.
so
Goku
was
didn't have a hue of,
Yamcha.
that's right. He didn't have a hue of blue on his hair. That's
No.
true.
Her hair was actually blue, like dark blue, like navy
Ah.
blue. I'm sorry, I'm an artist. So I know about colors.
But yeah, well, so
Chuck, we're getting schooled.
we are.
Sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, but that's, yeah, so the movie is really good. I think it's a really good twist on, there's a bit of a twist to it compared to other Dragon Ball Z movies and episodes.
You'll
and so
definitely
forth.
like it. We'll watch it and we'll be
And
we'll
fanboys
talk
about
about boys.
it. Oh my god, talk about voice.
And what's great about it? Oh, jeez. And what's great about it? It does open up, of course, a whole other thing for more Dragon Ball Z, which is amazing.
All right, so next subject.
What's the next subject?
Who is your fantasy crush?
Fantasy crush.
Oh Lord, do I have to?
Yes. Who's your
I've
fantasy?
only told
And you have to say why. And you have to say why.
Nothing but love this Valentine's Day.
God.
Oh my!
All right, who wants to go first? Wow, don't jump in all at once. I have to think about it because I have a lot. But
all right, I'll go first because mine's already. Oh, I've already. Yes, it's always been Tifa. It is.
Boobs.
Yes. It was those sweater cows. No,
she knows how to fight and she's got nice boobs.
Yeah. Well, Tifa.
And long dark hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's Tifa.
That's why you love me.
I've only cosplayed as her. Love me, damn it.
Tifa was definitely
you will be mine.
Of all the video game characters, of all the anime characters, fictional characters, Tifa, by far. Tifa is my waifu.
Well, is there personality-wise you like her, not just appearance?
Yes, it's not just appearance. It's her personality because she's strong. She ran the Avalanche group pretty much, and everything. And she went through a lot of crap, and was an example of a very strong female character.
Strong character altogether.
In general,
just not female, just strong altogether.
Yeah, and she was the one who pulled Cloud out of his delirium from the Mako poisoning, and I would love to see more Tifa characters. And you do start to see some of them. I mean, Asuna in Sword Art Online is a good example of someone who's like Tifa. I feel at least closer to it. Maybe not entirely.
I think a lot of characters in Ruby. A lot of the
Ruby?
female characters.
Yeah.
I see
Tifa. Look at Ruby. Look at Tenchi Muyo. Look at Ranma 1/2 even.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely in Ranma. Yeah, a lot of the girls are.
Okay, Gene, it's your turn.
Okay.
Oh, good Lord.
It's your turn. No judgment.
Excuse me.
All right, I got two that I really can't decide on. So I'm gonna go with the first one, and I'm gonna say San from Princess Mononoke. Like she was the first not real person crush that I really ever had in my entire life. Like I was so attracted to the feralness, at the same time she was also kind of inexperienced with romance and was kind of taken off by that. And I was kind of like a tween at the time. So I kind of like understood exactly where she was coming from. So on top of that, she was absolutely gorgeous in that mask and fur. So that was, well, that's why.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut. Saying she's a good example too of another strong female character as well. Like Tifa. It definitely would be San.
Oh, of course. I mean, completely independent, doesn't really need the help of anyone until extra forces come into the fray.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, very strong female lead character. And the second one is Inuyasha.
Ah, that's right. You've cosplayed as Inuyasha before.
I have cosplayed as Inuyasha. I mean, this is going to segue into GamerGate, so I might as well just say it.
Oh my god.
LGBT person.
Mm-hmm.
Inuyasha is the bee's knees. He's got that white hair. He's got that, seriousness, determination, but still playful. Really, really sentimental. I mean, okay, I'm not going to spoil anything because it's a real long series and people may have actually not known what actually happens. But he gets very emotional and very, closely connected with people, and it shows. So.
Yeah, well, there's a lot to Inuyasha's character. He comes off at first as a very, impersonal, ignorant, but strong character, but he does, you do find out throughout the series that there's more to him, of course.
He becomes very humbled over the entire arc of the entire story, and it's so beautiful.
Yeah. Well, he's I like Inuyasha. He's a great character by far.
I like Shishomaru a little more.
He likes Shishomaru
but I
more?
also like Inuyasha
Oh my God,
too.
my girlfriend is so obsessed with Shishomaru. Like I am literally sitting in bed right now because I can't be downstairs because there's just too much noise for me to record.
Mm.
But I am literally several dozen pictures of Shishomaru, including a life-size cutout that was custom made by my girlfriend of Shishomaru.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, didn't he,
so don't get me started on Shishomaru.
well, that's one. I guess then that would be one of your crushes there, didn't you know?
It is one of my crushes, but it's not my main crush. Oh no, this is really hard for me because I have so many. Like it's a little ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. I'm trying to narrow it down. Who's like my real like husband?
Husband?
My husband. I call him a husband.
Husband.
I guess Maru would be one of the high ones.
Oh yeah, definitely Maru.
Because I watched the show during the time when I was like really depressed and suicidal, and I watched Sailor Moon, and that actually helped me go back to drawing and being creative again, and more of being myself, and seeing a guy, support someone, not just save the day, but support someone. But Sailor Moon always defeats the enemy, but he's there to support her, and I always admired that about him, and he's really smart too, so smart guys, yeah. My other one, it's I don't know, this is really hard. I like Catra from Gundam Wing, and I also like Hiro Yui too from that show because they were hot.
The answer's pure and simple.
Actually, I always bring this up when we were at Icon years ago. The voice actor of Catra, who later on did Light Yagami in Death Note, was there, and he, of course, like a lot of the voice actors, just like he embellished the role a lot, and he loved it. Of course, he loved being in the role. He's a young guy, and he, so he. The line he goes, he was, I think someone.
Troa, bring your heavy arms over here.
Was the voice actor of Troa there at the time? I think too.
No,
it was just no. I think a fan asked him a question, and he came up with a line. He was like acting like all like Bishonen to as Cat, but did Catra's voice. It's like Troa, bring your heavy arms over to me.
But I like Catra because even during the war, he
hilarious.
didn't want people to die. He just did it to protect his people. And I thought that was amazing because it was just a group of all these guys, and they're like, they're into killing and they're into fighting. But Catra was the only one that wasn't really into it.
He was seen as the weakest link.
But he was seen as the weakness. But to me, I thought he was the strongest because he saw everyone as a human being, not an enemy. Mm. And I always admired him for that. And he plays the violin, and I think that's hot.
Yeah.
Well, pure and simple reasoning. I mean,
they're hot, and there's so many. It'd probably be like the whole broadcast. It's just talking about anime guys.
There's a lot of crushes you have. There's even in that new anime, which
there's too many.
Actually, yeah. Where's your phone again? Let me get. Actually, I don't think I can say.
Don't make fun of me. God damn it.
You like the main guy in.
I like a lot of guys. I'm sorry. Most of them are fiction, but I like a lot of guys.
Most?
This is one of those long titles that will eventually be called something else in America.
I like the blue hair guy.
Atsushi? It actually looks his name.
Oh my god, we're both Libras.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He's the blue-haired guy with glasses on there. Battle Lover Empnard. I'm really wow. You'd think I would get the pronunciations more correct here.
He's hot.
Binan Koku. Oh gosh, wow! I really gotta get my Japanese pronunciations better. You would think
people are gonna get mad, so let's skip the subject.
Oh no!
Time to close your big American mouth and open your big American eyes.
Oh. It's a pictogram. No, picto. Yeah, that
Okay.
that was a good animation from
Alright, I guess we'll go to the
Rice
next
Pirate, right?
subject.
Oh,
Next subject.
sorry, bit of
Um,
awkwardness.
Sorry.
since this is all about love.
We got the aughts.
Okay, all about love. Probably everyone's gonna get sick now.
We got the aughts.
All right, tell us why you love me. Why do you love me, Charlie?
Because I'm stuck with
Do
you
it.
for these
Do it right
bastard.
now.
No, it's okay.
Why do you love me?
Well, you represent some of that aspects with Tifa, I feel. But also, you do represent a bit of that damsel in distress.
Damsel.
You have a little bit of that coy kind of shyness to you, which I do like too. So, and you're very loyal though. But that's the thing, you're also very, very loyal. You're, sometimes, yeah, there's been girls that I've known that they might be more outgoing than you are, but that outgoingness sometimes leads to them being
Don't say it.
players, like
Okay.
like a lot of guys do too. Everyone does it. Everyone, not. I mean, I'm not saying we. I'm saying
Aw.
everyone.
So you love me because I'm loyal?
That's part of it.
No, that's adorable.
But because I'm like that too. But I at least I try to be.
That's really cute.
I try to exemplify that I'm loyal, and I am. Well,
Oh my god, Gene, I think you became the third wheel.
I can't. I am. No, I'm very stubborn too, right?
Yeah, you're Irish.
This is my Irish genes.
Yeah.
So, like, I just want to be with one person. That's really it. I'm not the kind. There's some people that there's a lot of guys do this,
And girls
too. They go, I want to see more people. I want to. They have like some sort of weird in my opinion, some sort of weird hipster movement.
I don't think.
Like,
Wait. Cheating has been going on forever.
no, but they get the excuse.
I mean, there's a big difference.
The excuse is, oh, I can't seem to find myself, man. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake, just say
I
that
need to find myself into this
I mean,
girl.
I know people who are polyamorous. I mean, that's the actual terminology I think you're going for.
Oh, okay.
And I know people who are just basically douchebags that say, "Oh no, I love you. I'm just going to go out and sleep with this person tonight." I mean, there's a big difference between the two.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's true. Yeah, in the end, I think as long as you're someone who's good on your word, that's really what it is, and you be true to yourself and the one that you're with. I think that's really in the end. Like, do I exemplify that at all, Danielle? What do you feel?
Yeah, you're the most loyal person I've ever met.
Okay.
In all honesty, I never met anyone like you.
Yeah,
Because usually guys get bored and want something different, even though they have something good. A lot of guys get bored, and they also get peer pressure by their guy friends. Like, you're still with that girl? There's so many out there. Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, if you're in a crappy relationship or something like that, or you have even worse, say an abusive relationship, you gotta get the heck out of that.
I had a crappy relationship and I cheated
stubborn
on him for you.
Oh Jesus. Yeah.
So,
oh Lord.
Congrats.
Yay! I'm a homewrecker.
Chuck, don't worry. I feel the same way because pretty much my current girlfriend did the same.
Okay. Did she? Really? Oh my god.
Well, she pretty much left another guy, like literally several weeks after we started talking, and like about several weeks before we actually became an item. So I don't believe in coincidences.
Yeah, there's, well, with your case, Danielle, your boyfriend that you were with when we met was basically non-existent. He wasn't even there. He was.
Yeah, he wasn't.
He was.
I understood that everyone's busy, but you have to take time in a relationship. You know? I'm not just you're
an accessory.
Yeah, I'm not just there for status. Like, oh yeah, I have a girlfriend. I don't see her or talk to her.
Yeah, to be arm candy when it's good to look good around your friends.
He never called me. We only went out on one date. And every time we saw each other in school, he just played Magic the whole time with his other friends and not talk to me. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I probably know him then.
Oh no.
Well, he's the same age as Charlie, so
I played
maybe.
I played a lot of Magic.
I don't want to say his name on the broadcast,
Well, yeah,
but
don't drop
but
names.
yeah, I didn't feel loved at all in the relationship, and most of my friends forgot that I was in a relationship. Like they were trying to hook me up with someone else, and I'll just be like, I have a boyfriend, and they're like, oh yeah, that's how.
Really?
Yes.
You do? You're still together?
Yes, that just shows how much he didn't.
How much he wasn't there.
He wasn't there.
Yeah.
He wasn't there.
Well, we've seen people. There's people we've known that have had that exact situation where it was only when it was convenient for that person to show off the other. That's when they were in the picture.
Yeah.
Not when. Yeah. It was like, oh, hey, by the way, I got a girlfriend here. Oh,
and
yeah.
it was the first time, besides you, the first time a guy went up to me and was like, "So you like this guy?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Are you in this for real?" And I'm like, "Are you serious?"
Are
yes.
you talking about when my friend?
Not just you. The other guy's friend did the same shit. Said the same thing to me, and I'm like, yes.
Why are you the one being interrogated?
I'm like, where's
Your kids
my
are going to
friend?
look back on this podcast and be like, really? That's how it happened, Mom?
Where was my friend going up to the guy I liked, going like, are you in this for real? Because what the hell? Oh, well.
Yeah.
High school days sucked.
Yeah, and in the end, it all really doesn't matter afterwards. It really doesn't. None of it really matters after the high school years. Anyways, sorry. What were you going to say, Gene? I'm holding...
I don't know. I was too busy being the third wheel.
Oh, I'm sorry. We said that in sync.
Oh my god.
I forget where I was even trying to get a word in, but
oh shit.
Go on.
Now I'm afraid to talk because I feel like a jerk.
Well, if anyone else listening to the podcast, want to ask you guys, of course, what you might feel about this situation with, again, the topic of this podcast is definitely with Valentine's Day and love, relationships, shipping. If you guys anything with shipping characters, please comment,
subscribe,
tweet,
like, share,
Instagram, Pinterest.
Show
No,
us love.
we're not. It's just, but I don't know what. I don't know where should we go from this with love.
But, I know where to get to this. What crush or relationship do you regret, and why?
Really? Should we really go into that kind of stuff?
Well, we're into the good side. Let's go
place.
little. It doesn't have to be too dark. Just a little slightly to the. Why did I like that person?
So we've gone from an anime podcast to a relationship talk show.
Well, it's Valentine's Day.
It is Valentine's Day. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
All right, Gene, why don't you start because I've been talking like an idiot.
Are we doing real life people?
Yeah.
Should we?
Yeah. But just don't say their name. Just the rule is don't say their name. Don't say their name because then we have to do editing and that's annoying. Just don't say their name.
We don't do that. All right. Well, there's one that I definitely regret and was my last relationship. To make a long story short, my good friend of mine from high school moved to Pennsylvania, and I went out to Pennsylvania to go visit him. Over the weekend, he introduced me to some of his friends that he met when he got to Pennsylvania, and one of them was this girl. So me and this girl kind of started hitting it. Not that, we were both gamers. We both liked Dungeons and Dragons. We were both into anime, and, we were both pretty nerdy and geeky. So things were like, oh, this is all. So for a while, we had a bit of a long distance relationship, for about a few months. Then I was all like, hey, would you like to come to Long Island to live with me? Because I have this huge house that I pretty much live by myself. And she was living basically in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, ironically, where I live now. So she was all like, yeah, let's do that. So she moves out to Long Island. And then that's when the fun started happening. As soon as she came out to Long Island, she basically was, I don't like talking bad about people, but she was basically useless.
Oh.
She she didn't get a job. She basically laid on the couch all day, ate all of my food, literally all of my food, to the point where I was down to eating a packet of ramen a day if I was lucky.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Um, and then after some time went by, I got a job doing construction with a friend of mine, and basically like 75% of my paycheck after, expenses were pretty much going to her. She had me more or less, I think the term is called gaslighting, where pretty much she had such a grip over me, at least mentally, that whenever I tried to question anything that was going on, she would basically tell me that everything was my fault and that I need to make up for it. So I was always the person that was being wrong. And
Ooh.
I knew that I was being wrong. That's
Wow.
what gaslighting is, but I didn't know any better because I wasn't actually wrong. And then it got to the point where a friend of hers from Pennsylvania wanted to move away from Pennsylvania for a while. So he moved out to Long Island. Now, here's the thing that I didn't know until last minute. He was actually her ex.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Oh man.
I'm like, so at this point, I knew something wasn't right, but she was still gaslighting me at this point. She was literally emotionally and mentally abusing me. And everything was my fault. It was bad. Um, then eventually I found out that my girlfriend was propositioning other friends of mine if they wanted to do stuff. And I was like, no, that can't be true. That it can't be true at all.
Oh my
Mind you, at
goodness.
this point she was my technically my fiance because I had proposed to her after we had been together for about a year.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah. So eventually I forget what it was, but me and her ex-boyfriend, we went on a car ride doing something. And I had told the ex-boyfriend something that she had done like several days prior that didn't settle with me. Like she literally did an illegal thing. Like she stole an item from a store,
Oh my
or at
God.
least suggested that she stole an item from a store. So I go back and we get back home and I decide to go to the bathroom. So I'm reading manga, doing my thing in the bathroom. And all of a sudden I hear a knock on the door and it's my girlfriend. And she's saying, "Hey, can we talk when you're done?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, give me a couple minutes." So I finish up, wash my hands, do all that, and I take a step or two outside the door and she just punches me in
Oh.
like jaw, back of the head area, like from the front. And I, everything's kind of fuzzy because I kind of felt really weak and I fell to the ground. And next thing I know is I feel like somebody like beating on my head from above me while I'm laying on the ground. And the only thing I remember from even hearing anything was you ruined my relationship with him or something like that.
Wow.
So basically, they were getting their relationship, and she was physically beating me to the point of the person that she was cheating on me with, and she was beating me for it.
But
So then
oh
that
my
was
God.
that was the last straw, or at least so I thought. So I personally drive her back to Pennsylvania. Both of them, I drive them back to Pennsylvania. This guy thinks that I'm still his friend, and I'm like, whatever, dude. So that happens. Then it turns out that she's pregnant, and
No.
she starts gaslighting me again.
Uh
Internet.
well,
And
oh sorry. Go ahead.
it's the main reason why I moved to Pennsylvania in the first place.
Mm.
I knew before I even moved that it wasn't my child. And there's a reason why I knew it wasn't my child because we didn't do anything.
Mm.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know what it is that yeah, that well you eventually got out of that very quickly, well, relatively quickly.
It literally took me a half a year to get out of it because
Mm.
basically what happened, it's very short from this point. Um, Basically, we got an apartment and everything was hunky dory. She had her kid. I was more worried about the kid than her. Like, honestly, like I knew pretty much it wasn't my kid. I was just worried about the kid. So I moved down to Pennsylvania, make sure he's okay. I'm working 60 hours a week at a movie theater, making no overtime because apparently movie theaters are exempt from paying overtime. And one day she just up and leaves me and says that everything is my fault and that I'm a horrible person, and yada yada yada. And that was that. And she turned all the people I knew in Pennsylvania against me. She even stole my food stamps card so I couldn't buy groceries. And she waited until the beginning of the month when I had to pay bills and there was no way for me to pay my bills.
Wow.
And that was the end of that. Now, several years have come and gone since then, and all the people that she said I was a terrible person with have literally all of them have come back to me and said, "I am so sorry. I believed her. You are actually a great person." But yeah, no, that was the one big relationship that I will always regret in my entire life.
Wow.
And it's a bit of a doozy. So it involved mental abuse, it involved physical abuse, and it was pretty hard.
Well, Gene, first of all, I want to tell you thank you for divulging that. I mean, it must be, that's the thing with these, when you ask these kind of questions too. I know it's a little tough when you ask, and that's also, I think, why people sometimes like to balk at Valentine's Day, because they get reminded of shit like this from it's like, especially if they're single right now, or even when they're not, it's like, if they had that past issue, it's like, oh, all right, I don't want to be reminded of it. It's
Exactly.
and
I mean, you have those days where it's just, oh man, I was in a relationship with this person. How can this be? But I
yeah.
mean, going back to the people who have that pride, that's like, oh well, I'm single and this is Valentine's Day. They have that sense of self-worth.
Yeah, and well, that's a good thing to have to a point, as long as it doesn't become belligerent, you know, as long as it doesn't, you don't get really full of yourself, but you need to have that kind of self confidence too. And
Oh,
the why I'm single hashtag that's there, it's in some way it can be empowering, but also actually another question I want to ask you, when you hear so you're someone who's been an example of someone. I guess it's going back into the whole GamerGate thing again. Oh, hello.
oh, good Lord.
Well, I know.
Charlie,
Let's hear
let
it.
it
Let's
go.
hear it.
No, but you went through something where a girl was abusive and terrible. So uh, when you see the so-called feminists, because
Gender haters?
the gender haters, that represent the other side of GamerGate, when they say that only men can be abusive, only men can do this, you're obviously an example of someone who can prove them wrong. When you see them say that, it's like, what are you talking about? It doesn't matter your gender. You
I
can be a
was
terrible person no matter what your gender is, and you could be a wonderful person no matter your gender or race, too.
She actually tried suing me for child support too, for her child.
It was to bank off of that, right? Basically, it was
Essentially,
which
and she was getting desperate to. She literally, like, there were other people other than me that she tried to sue for child support too.
wow. Well, and
Right.
that's the thing. It's good that you're out of that. I think anyone that's in something like that, I know it's
Oh, you want to know the ironic part?
what's that?
I shared my story on Reddit, and I got brigaded by SRS.
That's right. I remember that, and that was around the time I got brigaded by them as well. It was like right
Mm,
after it. I would
Wow.
you
That's
yes.
fucked up.
You mentioned it because you were talking about, because there is in Pennsylvania, in the rural part of it over there. There's a group of girls that are just like her, that they actually profit. They try to profit off of doing that kind of stuff to guys.
Not saying that every girl is like that,
No,
but
no, no. But
to deny that it doesn't happen is
there's a subset of people that do that. And it's true. It's absolutely true. And you had, right. You had people. You were being brigaded by SRS, right? Shit Reddit says the play for anyone
yeah,
not knowing this.
the so-called beginnings of the social justice warrior movement.
This is before Tumblr. This is before they decided to say, hey, we own Tumblr, we're in Tumblr. They were all in this shit Reddit says section. They were going. The point of shit Reddit says was to go around and anytime someone said something on Reddit, they were to brigade them, downvote them, berate them for saying what they feel was stupid
whatsoever.
And that became, of course, eventually the social justice warrior thing that we see now. So I don't want. I know I keep jumping into that GamerGate crap. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone who keeps listening. I don't really want it to be about that, but but so that's the thing. I think in the end, and when you look at this like a day like Valentine's Day today too, you go and realize that doesn't matter race, gender, sexual orientation. You have good people and bad people across the spectrum. It doesn't matter, and people have had their own thing that they've gone through, good or bad, and sometimes Valentine's Day can bring that out to them for better or for worse, and that's why you get. And I think unfortunately a lot of it is negative, and that's why you get a lot of people that are saying, "Fuck Valentine's Day, I hate this holiday. I don't want to deal with all this stuff." But
I will say this much though. Valentine's Day for the last 4 years has been an amazing day for me for one reason. And that's because my girlfriend's birthday is Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah, happy birthday to her. That's an interesting day to have birthday. Well, it is,
Well, 2 for 1 is a great thing too, but but no, it means that Valentine's Day, at least for now, and knock on wood that it always will be, and have amazing meaning to me. So
that's great. Well, it's good to see stuff move positively, and I don't want to stop Danielle from saying anything. Was there anything that you regret?
Yeah, stop mansplaining.
Oh yeah, you mansplaining.
There's a lot of things I regret.
Well, you pretty much said it, that past one where the guy just didn't even.
Yeah. I should have just left him, like, once, noticing it. But I was lonely, so I saved them like an idiot. What do I regret? I'm trying to think of one to stick with because I have a lot of regrets.
Well,
you and I both, sister.
I know,
you and
right? It sucks.
What's interesting is these people.
Wait. It's not. You pretty much like outshined us with your story, so this one's like very, very light.
Oh, I'm sorry I upstaged you on.
It's okay. Hey, well, you're no longer the third wheel.
Hey, yeah.
You're the head wheel.
No, it's okay. I have my cats coming here, so I'll just be the crazy cat man for the rest of this podcast.
Right, my regret is not really a relationship, but my regret, in the past, my love life, is liking a guy for so long that I look back and like, why can't I just let that guy go? Like, I always held on to liking him. It took like 5 years. I still like this guy.
Oh, like the what if,
Well,
the one that got away.
Yeah, it's pretty much that. This boy I liked, like, I met him. You know who I'm talking about. Don't say it.
I do.
I met him at 5th grade, and I was like,
he's a douche now.
Head over heels over him. And we went out for like 4 days, and then he broke up with me in 5th
4
grade.
days.
In 5th grade.
5th grade. Oh.
And then we went out, and then he asked me out again in 6th grade, and I was like, so happy. Like, I felt like I want a reward because I'm like, in your face, he's mine kind of attitude I had about it. And unfortunately I'm very like over romantic. Like, I'm a very romantic person, and I guess for a lot of people that scares people a lot, and I don't mean to do it, but I'm very romantic. So but we were dating for like 2 weeks the first time. and I was being like over romantic about it. Like, I was giving him love letters like during class, and I'll hold his hand, and I was being all cutesy about it, and everyone around us was being jerks about it. And that people started rumors and crap. So he broke up with me, and then we went back together, and then he broke up with me again, and it was going on to the point that he broke up with me and dated this girl that I thought was my friend, and I was so it hurt me to death because this girl I thought was my friend,
God.
and she did she
That's
she
the
lied.
book.
She lied. And it wasn't just her. There was another girl that did that too that I thought was my friend. They lied saying like, oh yeah, because I never believed them. I'm like, no, he's not that type of person. I think you misunderstood. But they did the same thing to him, and he ended up believing them that I was cheating on him, which I wasn't.
Oh,
And
geez.
he broke up with me and then dated one of the girls that I thought was my friend.
Oof.
And that destroyed me. It really killed my trust towards people. And I still have really bad trust issues because I have so many stories. I have so many stories with people that really hurt my trust that I have a hard time letting new people into my life. And I hate myself for it. But I've been hurt so many times by people. I have this huge like shield around me that I'm kind of like, I can't really trust you, you know? It sucks.
And you had
I don't blame you. I'm the same way, especially since my last relationship. I think my current girlfriend has been the only new person since then that I've
and it
ever.
sucks because people tell you like, oh, you gotta let that go. You have to grow up. You have to let people in. It's like, I did that. I tried that. I've done it multiple times, and I've gotten hurt.
Yeah.
And guess what? I'm still in therapy for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should go to therapy, but my therapist betrayed me too. I had a couple of therapists betray me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I can't. I have a really hard time going out. You know.
Yeah.
Getting to know someone.
And
it sucks.
You had people that you trusted that. Now, you know, when it comes to relationships too, I know people who are, you know, we're of course very much into anime, video games, and so forth. But you get some people who are with others that are not. But you liked people or had trust in people that were on either side. Either they had no idea what the hell anime was, or were big anime fans and stuff. Like you said, the guy that you liked prior was playing Magic cards. So it was.
I wasn't into Magic cards,
it didn't
but
matter.
it didn't matter.
You know.
I thought he was a nice guy.
So it doesn't matter where they are.
Wait, you like somebody for being a nice guy? What the hell is wrong with you?
I've always liked someone for being a nice guy. I'm very drawn into smart guys and nice guys that have nice asses.
Well, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh my.
Wrap this podcast up then.
Oh yeah, now it's getting uncomfortable.
Well, no, Charlie, you didn't. I didn't tell us one of your regrets. It doesn't have to be a big one, but one of your regrets.
I had a similar liking someone that I shouldn't have for so long.
Yeah, I was me. Oh my god.
Yeah, but mine was longer. And it was dumb. But you know, the thing is, I don't have any relationship experience beyond Danielle. Honestly, like
a virgin.
No, well, my story. Growing up, I was first of all, I liked girls since pre-K. I did not believe in cooties. I used to get teased in the earlier grades because I liked girls. Which
wow, you little Casanova, you.
But every girl that I liked literally moved away to another state, country, or at the very least another school district. Now, back in the 90s, when someone moved away to another school district, they could have very well gone to freaking Guam, and it would have been the same thing. Because, you know, the only way to get in touch with someone back then was by the phone. And when you're younger than 18, the only other way to get in touch with them was to talk through their parents. Why the hell would you try to call their house and talk through to their parents? You know, nowadays you can just, and Danielle's showing giving that weird ass face that I gave and that freaking thing. I look like I'm derping out like crazy.
Charlie, stay in the subject, please.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at that. I'm like, oh my god, I look like a doof on Instagram right now.
I'll have to check these out after this is done.
Oh my god, I look like an absolute doof. No, but I liked the girl in pre-K. She moved away to North Carolina just before kindergarten. I liked the girl in first grade. She moved away to England.
It was meant to be.
Now, the girl I liked in second grade, she was in my second grade and fourth grade classes, and I stupidly liked her all the way up until 10th grade. um,
Wow.
which was stupid. And she moved away just to the other school district not too far away in like maybe 10 miles away from our school district. But again, it was like worlds away for back then. And I was maybe being a little too I felt like I was being maybe a little odd about it. I was not. Well, looking back, I feel I was odd. I shouldn't have liked someone for that long. Who I only really talked to every so often. Because back then I was very scared to talk to her. It was that very. I hate to say like it was with Doug. The series Doug with like way he was with Patty. It was like
Oh
he didn't
my God.
He didn't even want to talk. He barely even freaking talked to her, and he was like getting all like stupid about it, and that's kind of how I was.
Well, I think that's normal at that age.
Yeah, it was.
Just
But
that
then once you
fear.
start getting to like 10th grade, after liking someone from like 2nd grade, it gets a little stupid in my opinion. I feel like that's what I regret, that I was like that. And then 10th grade, my 10th and 11th grade, I started to not move on from that. But the other people what is it? The one girl I brought to the junior prom, I did like her, but I was just the ride to the prom. I was the ticket to the party. Whatever. But I also too was being a little too clingy, I guess you can say, maybe jumping the gun a little too much there. But I never really had a girlfriend before that. And I never was in a relationship until, of course, I met Danielle. And that was been my only relationship since for 13 years.
Aren't you sick of me yet?
No, not at all. But I always knew I'd be someone who was loyal, and that's what I think what I proved. And I think, that's one good aspect of all that. But at the same time, sometimes you just don't be that kind of, not upset. I wasn't a stalker or a creep or anything. I sure as hell hope I didn't give that kind of impression. I really hope I didn't. That's one fear I have. But there are people who definitely.
There's more fish in the sea. I think it's what
Yeah, that's really one. A good
the
thing
right
to
person
do.
will come.
Be a better you. Like, I got into anime and everything, and it was something that I liked. I loved video games ever since I was 2. But I decided to move on in that hobby, and that's when I found Danielle. That's like I said, my website. This website that I'm making this podcast from was started a month before I met Danielle, because I was already very much into the hobby. So don't be ashamed of what you are for your hobby too, because I hear some people in their relationships don't have their significant other isn't a gamer, isn't an anime fan. I'm not saying indoctrinate them, but also make sure that split isn't too much. Isn't it's not something, because be the best you, and you'll eventually attract the right person in your life. I think it's better to be a stronger individual up front before you get involved with someone else, to a point. But you still have sometimes like we see with our anime characters that we like, and like the people we talk that ship, like we talk about Mamoru and Usagi and Sailor Moon, or Cloud and Tifa in Final Fantasy VII, and so forth. They did need each other. Everyone has weaknesses. Everyone has strengths. And when you have a significant other, they can help fill in the gap of your weaknesses and build them up to strength and so forth, and vice versa. So that's where I feel you can't always be. I'm not saying
that was beautiful.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying.
Wow, give him the Oscar now.
I'm just saying, don't always. You can't. Don't again get too big of a head and be like, I gotta be the best thing in the world at the same time. But I'm saying, just still be yourself, and make that be your driving force. Eventually, you find the right person. Don't try to be part of something you're not. Because I did that for too long myself, even though I never even got as far enough to even get into the damn relationship. So,
Well, very, very wise words right there.
Yeah, I didn't even. I lucked out in that sense. So I guess I lucked out by all those people moving to another state or country, or even the one I liked for too long just going to another school district. So,
Na, na, na.
yeah. Ooh,
I
excuse
mean,
me.
sometimes you just gotta be the very best, like no one ever was.
The catch them is
Just thought I'd break the ice a little bit because we went from
If-
physical and mental abuse to inner soul searching.
yeah. Or like in Gurren Lagann, the way
Simone says,
the way
Believe in me, believe in the me that
believes in you. You know what I say? Fuck you.
oh, what? Oh. Kamina definitely reminds me of my childhood friend, who was the one that went up to you and says, "Is this a real thing?"
Yes, he did the same shit, and I was like, "Is this a new trend?"
My childhood friend, very nice guy. He's he is probably the embodiment of Kamina in real life.
Kind of looks like him.
Yes, just a bald. He's not balding, but he's all like bald now. He shaves his head, I think, now too. But he's very nice guy. He's a very lovable, like type A personality and stuff. But he's he's definitely an embodiment of Kamina, and I was Simone for a good chunk of my life. I think that's the thing. Was that?
Like I'm surprised, because I've always known you to be like that very confident, risk taker, knows what he wants in life kind of person.
That happened only slightly after meeting Danielle. Before that, I was Shinji. I was Kamina.
He was really shy when I first met him.
Oh yeah.
He was really shy. It was so cute.
What you
It was
hear now
adorable.
and what you see now was always what was internally the way I was, but I was always in my shell. So yeah, I was definitely. So when I see, even though I will make fun of Shinji particularly, there is a fan art out there. If you see it, there's someone drew the scene of Kamina punching Simone, but instead it's Shinji. grit
God.
grit your teeth, and he's punching Shinji in the Ava.
And he goes flying.
So but it's people can change over time too, and you hope for the better.
Of course. I mean, like you said, I've been like Shinji for the majority of my life, and I've only up until very recently started seeing a therapist and actually a psychologist for various things that I've been dealing with in life, and I over time I began noticing myself just changing. So I agree with that entirely.
Yeah, and actually, you are a different, or again, all geeky here with like Doctor Who, too. As the 11th Doctor said, with Matt Smith who played as him, he says, "We're many people throughout our lives. Just always remember the people that you used to be. You do change. You can be. You are different people throughout your life. Just make sure that you're maybe trying to make your next incarnation to be a better person." And I think that's what I don't want to leave off on that. I'm acting all philosophical now with all this. Oh yes, you must be the best person in the world.
We'll give NPR a run for its money.
Yes, I'll talk very close to the mic. Hi, welcome to NPR News here. This is Satirius Johnson, and I am here to talk about organic vegetables. No.
And if you like programming like Chuckles Anime Shrine, you can become a contributor by only donating $100 for this piece of crap that anybody can get for less.
Yes, and make sure to donate to PBS as well. No, I do listen. Actually, I do listen to NPR going home sometimes.
So do I. I hate making fun of them, but oh my God, they're so easy to make fun of.
They can be, but they got some good talks. But it's like, hello, I'm talking close to the mic, and we're gonna talk now about a book that came out. Do you guys like books? We like books. This is the talk. The science talk too. No, it's
like I feel like modern NPR is exactly what would happen if Brian Griffin got his own network.
It is, and they have made fun of NPR twice on Family Guy, doing that exact same joke that I've been doing. That's kind of where I got it from. Where I'm going to talk very close to the mic, but they really do. They're like right up against the mic, like I am right now, and it's like, It's like, okay. It's all right. You guys can maybe be a little bit further back, not too close. But it's. I don't mean to make this podcast a philosophical thing, but you know, and those shows are good. They're good for what they are. Except what were they talking about? They were talking about eggplants the other time. Literally, we were talking about more vegetables and stuff. Oh, I got white eggplant here. It looks like an egg.
That's what they call it, eggplant.
Yeah, there are actually
Yeah, like that's where it came from. Like there's a species of eggplant that literally is small and looks like an
This is
egg.
a
It
great
looks like an egg.
subject we're getting into, vegetables.
And that is NPR News by the Chuckles Anime Shrine.
See, it's sticking now. Even
Yeah,
you're
it's
sticking it.
sticking.
Now it's no longer Chuck's Anime Shrine. It is Chuckles.
You got to buy the URL and forward it to Chuck's Anime Shrine.
Oh my god. Yeah, which is again a long URL, but I guess wow, we're just like my last podcast, which was a long one compared to our other ones. We're almost up to 2 hours now.
2-3 hours. That's a good amount of time.
That's a good amount of time. But I guess then it is starting to get late now where we're at. What do you think? I guess we should make this the end of the podcast. Gene?
Well, it's time for me to hit the old dusty trail.
Yeah. So well, Gina, I definitely wanted to thank you for coming here to the Chuckles Anime Shrine podcast NPR News thing that I have going on here, the love boat of anime podcasts here on Valentine's Day. No, but thank you. Honestly, though, joking aside, thank you, Gene, for coming by.
Well, Chuckles, thank you for having me on, and I look forward to contributing again in the future.
No problem. We'll definitely welcome you back. And of course, anyone listening to the podcast, if you have any questions, comments, want to insult us for our NPR concerns,
Keep it to yourself.
no. You want to talk about, Valentine's Day as an anime fan, video gamer, and everything, or, who do you ship? Who's your favorite couples? Or just say why you're single or something too right now. Go right ahead in the comments. I should have this up in the blog. I should also have this probably split in two again on YouTube. So just comment, subscribe. Pinterest, Instagram, Chuckles Anime Shrine, RSS feed. I don't know. Whatever else there will be. Tinder, left swipe, right swipe it.
We'll be a common collective on Tinder.
Yeah, right.
You get the all-in-one package.
Yes. Which, but thank you guys. Thank you again, Gene, for being here, and everyone have a happy.
We love you.
We love you. Kiss on Valentine's Day.
I love me.
Take care.
Bye, Gene. We love you.
See you guys later.
Oh my god.